Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back here tonight with another requested reading, and this request is going to be for Jennie from Blackpink. And then, let me see, I'm gonna butcher his name, but I think it's something like Jeonghan, and he's from 17, and I do apologize for the mispronunciation, as per usual. If you're not new here, you already know how that goes, but yes, I got a request to do a reading between those two. Of course, as always, there's been some speculated rumors. There usually is when it comes to this kind of thing. I've done so many readings like this, and almost 99% of the time, it always comes back up as it's just, speculation. There's no, actual, proof of it. But that's what we're here to do. We'll see. We'll see what the cards have to say. But that's what I'm here to bring you tonight. I have everything all shuffled. Let me get everything laid out here. And remember, as always, if you have any other requests, please feel free to drop them down below. It will be a few weeks, give or take, before you see your request, okay? And I will be going on vacation here for 2 weeks, so I have content to put up then, but I won't be filming for a few weeks. So if you do request something in the meantime, just please be patient, and I promise I will get it out to you as soon as I can, okay? And I appreciate you for your patience, and I also appreciate you for the requests. And if you're interested in your own personal reading from me, I do offer those right now for $5 to my Venmo or PayPal, tarot reading, career, love, general, also oracle readings, and then pendulum yes, no questions. If that's something you're interested in, please hit me up. My email is in the description box below. And I have read over a dozen of my subscribers. I've gotten some pretty positive feedback and accuracy for the most part. So, I mean, for $5, you can't really go wrong. And this is just to help me practice my passion and continue to build and continue to grow. And I thank you for that. And if you don't want to do that, it's perfectly fine. As I always say, just please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me. Even if you don't like all my videos, I would really, really appreciate that. And I thank you with infinite love and gratitude. So, let's get into this. I will also pull a couple of these cards too when we're done and just kind of see what comes up. So, yes, let's get started. So what we will do, like we always do, I will pull a card first on Jennie. We'll see where she's at energetically right now. And then we will pull a card on him. I'm just going to call him Jay because I don't want to keep mispronouncing his name because I know that I am. So we're just going to call him Jay. And again, he is from the band 17. So let's do Jennie first. Apologize, I'm chewing gum. I will try not to be too loud with that. Okay. Let's do this one right here for Jennie. So Jennie is coming up as the Eight of Wands, and this is a rapid change. It's a very quickly moving change. It's also excitement and travel as well, so that could be coming up for her. So that's where Jennie is at right now. And then for Mr. J over here, that's what I'm going to call him. Let's do this card. So he's coming up with this, if I can talk. Sometimes I talk too fast. So Jay is coming up as the Strength card. So this is representing someone who is very strong, has very strong energy, very brave energy, very confident, has a lot of courage, and also overcoming obstacles. So if there was something he's facing right now, this is just a reminder that he will get through that and that he has the strength and courage to continue on. So let's see here. Let's just dive right into it as a whole. So what is going on between these two, if anything at all? If anything at all. Okay, so the Six of Wands. All right, let me do another one. Okay. Right now at the moment, I am kind of picking up that it is just kind of work-related friendship, which a lot of these are. I mean, if you watch some of my other videos like this, because I've done quite a few like this, and a lot of them are coming up the same thing. You know, it's still fun to see because you never know, right? There could be that romantic connection possibly going on. But a lot of the times it is just work, you know, and sometimes they get really, really friendly. On the world card, that right there is confirmation. So yeah, this to me is strictly, it's like a work thing, you know. They have successfully collabed together. I'm going to assume, have they collabed together? I'm going to guess so, because I feel like this is like work related. That's what I'm feeling. And it's been very successful for the two as well, like whatever that is. Obviously, you guys would probably know more about that than I. And then we have the Queen of Cups here. This is just someone who's like very kind and empathic. You know, they're just very, very friendly with each other. You know, they can trust each other, easy to talk to. You know, it's just kind of one of those things is what I'm feeling. And then we have the World card. This is about completion and fulfillment and achieving something, you know, and belonging. Like there's like a sense of belonging there. You know, they get along really well. So yeah, I am going to say from these cards, it's definitely just like a work-related type friendship. There might be a little over-friendliness, but also too with this Queen of Cups, and I almost kind of want to read this as Jennie. I just feel like she's a very warm, empathic, kind woman, and I feel like that draws a lot of people to her, even from like the opposite sex. You know, I feel like even males are very drawn to her too, because of her energy. You know, she just has this very empathic, warm energy, and a lot of people like that kind of stuff. You know, a lot of people like people like that. I like people like that. You know, just that warm, kind, empathic soul. And that's what I feel like with her. And I know one of the readings I did on her, she does seem just like a very genuine, caring person. You know, very open, very loving, very kind. But we'll pull a few more. I'll try not to make it too short. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I feel like it's just you know, just another one of those situations. And that does happen a lot in this industry, you know. It might seem like they're together, but they're just very overly friendly with each other. You know, we have the Fool here, and this is just about, you know, new beginnings, you know, innocence, adventure, free spirit. And that could be another thing, too, that kind of draws them together, you know. Just have that very free-spirited, kind, warm-hearted energy. Three of Wands, finding direction, expanding, moving forward, opportunities, advancements. Yeah, it's definitely, this is definitely, like, career-related. I don't think there's anything more than that. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to read it, because you never know. Maybe one of these times I do a reading like this will actually pick up something more than just friends. Knight of Cups. Someone who could be romantic, charming, following your heart and dreams. We could probably stick this card with Jay. You know, he's just a very charming man, you know, very graceful. Maybe a little bit of a flirt, too. I can almost kind of feel like, you know, sometimes I can kind of see why some people do speculate, like, relationships, because sometimes you can see these people hanging out together, and, you know, they might be a little overly friendly with each other. They might be a little more touchy, or, you know, a little more giggly, a little more giddy. You know, so it's very easy to think, oh, maybe something's going on, you know. You never know, right? You never know. It's very possible. But yeah, that's what I feel like with that. Just very romantic, kind of flirty, charming energy. But I don't really think it's any more than that. Yeah, Lover's card. I know what you're thinking, you know. Very well could be, but this could just be, you know, I feel like this is just, you know, working together, and, you know, and obviously there could always be that attraction too, you know. I'm sure these people work with a lot of people that they think are very attractive. I mean, that's nothing too crazy to me anyway. But yeah, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be something as simple as a friendship. But yeah, I mean, that's what I feel anyway. I mean, let me know what you guys think, but that's kind of where I'm going with it. That's kind of how I feel intuitively. So I'm going to go with that. And the Four of Swords is just like the rest contemplation card. Recuperating, rejuvenating, kind of taking time out a little bit. Alright, we'll do a few more. Try not to drag it on too long, but... Nine of Wands. Or 10. 9. Jesus, I can't see. 9 of Wands. So this is about being very close to success, persistence, standing your ground. So yeah, with this too, I just feel like it represents, you know, just the work they've done together. It's just been very successful. And yeah, like I said, I feel like it is based on friendship. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to drag it on too long because I think we got our answer. Let me get these out of the way. We'll pull a couple of my other cards here. Okay, actually, let me do it so you can see all of them. Oops. All right. Yeah, so like a friendship energy is what I feel. Let's do one more. Let's do this one. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's just another one of those speculations where it's just a friendship, you know. But like I said, it never hurts to check, you know. You never know what'll come up, but that's what I feel with it. So I guess I will leave it at that. So hopefully this reading helped you and you enjoyed it. If you did, please comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any more requests, please feel free to comment. Like I said, it'll probably be a few weeks, give or take, just because I am going on vacation. I'm not going to be filming as much. Like I said, I do have content coming up, but obviously that'll be a little bit different. But just please be patient, and I promise it will be coming soon. And I thank you so much for that, and I hope to see you on the next one. And I thank you for being here with infinite gratitude. I hope you have a great night. Bye.